Hi, I am Reverend Angie Shannon, and I am an ELCA pastor, that is Evangelical Lutheran Church in America pastor. I am here to kind of give you a little overview of who I am and what makes my heart sing and excites me. My area is mission outreach and evangelism. I have the heart of an evangelist. I love mission. Whatever you do, it has to be for the glory. Life should always have, as I say, meaning and purpose, and then mission. So much of what we do as pastors, it's longitudinal. You would plan a ministry, you get the people involved, you make sure that everything is in place for its well-being, and then there's always the next project. So you have to build these ministries and then entrust them to the people, because when you trust God's people, they will surprise you and do things that you never thought imaginable. From my first congregation, Augustana Evangelical Lutheran Church in Houston, Texas, that's where one day during African American History Month, the text was about feeding the poor. And we had this big old soul food feast planned. And just to see if we were listening, God sent 20 homeless people to Augustana that day as we were feasting. And they got in line. And for the most part, people were just so open and welcoming. And I was so surprised, because my first thought is, I hope we have enough food, Lord, and please multiply it such that we would. Then there was a few negative Nellies. Look at them, where did they come from? But the congregation rose up and said, if we cannot feed the hungry, then we are not a church. I did not have to say anything. So that was a very fine moment in the life of that congregation. Again, you just have to build the foundation, create the ministry, and trust it to the people. Trust the people. Trust that God is in the midst of it, and keep moving. Keep it moving, because ministry is not static. It really isn't. One of the things that I am passionate about is when we do something in ministry, it must be intergenerational, because everyone has a gift that God has given them to offer to service and making a better place. It sounds cliche, but it's not. And especially in these times, we're going to figure out just how strong we are and what we can do to help one another. My former congregation is Trinity English Lutheran Church. We were able to lead several mission trips down to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, to aid in Katrina cleanup. At first, they were a little reticent, only because they hadn't done it before, but once they got on fire, oh my goodness. When we first drove down to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, we drove up and there were people to greet us, and they were clapping and singing enthusiastically, and then they saw us and the enthusiasm kind of waned, because they looked at us and said, they're old. But old people, let me tell you, we can work. We get the job done. You don't have to stand over us, and we ask for more work. Yes, these yellow shirts, at first people hated them because they were so loud. Actually, this color became a kind of informal color of Trinity when we were out in the community, even in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, as well as here in our own backyard in Fort Wayne. When you saw one of those shirts, you knew it was a Trinity person. The whole idea of being the church in the world and being identified as such. It's okay to be a church person. See, here's the thing. We love worship. And it is so important. Worship is the center of what we do. But we're called into worship so that we are sent out to be God's people in the earth. My personal credo as a pastor is not just to be the local pastor at the congregation. It is to be the pastor to anyone who is within 3 or 4 feet of me. It's what I do. Being a pastor is the most wonderful, frustrating, beautiful, gritty, easy, difficult thing that I could have ever done with my life. Having answered this call, I cannot see myself doing anything else with my life.